Midterm Break by Seamus Heaney was published in 1966 in his book Death of a Naturalist. The story behind this poem is about Heaney's brother who was killed being only 4 years old by a car. Throughout the piece, the poet describes the family's griefs. The speaker, who we can interpret is actually our author, Seamus Heaney, shares his experience after losing someone really close. After being taken from class, the poet is picked up by his neighbors to finally meet his parents at home. The atmosphere is tense, quite uncomfortable and melancholic. The speaker's mother is so shocked she cannot speak, and his father is uncommonly crying. The following day, the little Kalai approaches his brother's room where the body with no major injuries is found. At the end of the piece, we are reassured the poem is talking about his brother's death when he compares the coffin's length to his brother's age. Before moving into Rising 5, I would like to briefly talk about the language, form, structure, and themes of Midterm Break so we can later compare it to our second poem. Firstly, we can notice it is a 7-stanza poem that is divided into stressets. And then we can also see a separate line, the final line, which acts as a summary for all the poem, right? Last, although lines have a similar length, there is no rhyme scheme. Regarding literary devices, I can mention alliteration with the words, for example, college, counting, classes, clock, and close. Also, the repeated use of enjambment to make the poem more fluid, as well as the sora for some pauses, as a 4-foot fox, a foot for every year. And well, themes that we will talk about later, I can firstly notice death, the grieving of family, and also mystery. Now, moving to writing 5, it was written by Norman Nicholson, and it is a poem with 4 length varying stanzas. The format of the lines in these poems emphasize the repetition of not. Like, not day but rising night, not now but rising soon, and this creates a rhythm. And well, regarding the rhyme scheme, only the first stanza has a clear pattern that is A, B, A, B, C, D, E, E, and not the other stanzas. Well, literary devices, we already mentioned repetition, as in Midterm Break, I can also see the use of enjambment and caesura to make the poem more fluid. Also, the use of images to help the reader picture the scene. I really like this one, Season After Blossoming. Now, moving to a more general perspective, let's see what the poem talks about and try to identify some themes. Everything starts with the speaker reflecting on the words of the child he takes care of, or well, probably his child. We can see constant references to getting closer to the future, like not 4 but rising 5. And well, then more references to time, like not day but rising night, not now but rising soon. And well, how the poem ends, not living but rising dead, which is crazy if we compare it to the beginning when we are talking to the life of a 4 years old. Most definitely, I think the theme of these poems is death, but it is presented in different ways. In Midterm Break, we see it as something unexpected and abrupt, and in Rising 5 as a long process which follows us through all our lives. In this way, I think the poems transmit a very important message that is to value what we have and not always be waiting for the future. So, what I can learn from these poems and how I can apply it to my own life would be to value what I have and be thankful for the people around me. And also, not wait for the future, like when the pandemic ends, or maybe next year, or when high school is over, but do it now and enjoy the moment now. Well, now last, maybe not that relevant, but I think it is interesting. Both characters on the poems are 4 years old. On the first one, on Midterm Break, the child was bumped by a car and, well, clearly dead, but with no major injuries for our speaker to see. And on the second one, on Rising 5, the child was not dead, but rising dead, so technically both children were untouched, but dead. So I think it is interesting.